Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Two Toe Tags Metal Reviews. Today, we're going to do our final review of Apex by Unleash the Archers.
Yeah. Alright, so first off, to kind of preface this video, we have to kind of explain our rating system. We have a bit of a unique rating system. Now, as you guys know, this channel is called Two Toe Tags, and there's a reason behind that. So what's going to happen is we're both going to rate the album out of 10. But the way we're doing it is if the album gets an 8 or higher, then we're just going to say we give it our toe tag. So basically, if I give the album an 8, 9, or 10, I'll just say I'll give it my toe tag. If he does it the same thing, then we're going to say this album deserves 2 toe tags. And if an album gets 2 toe tags, that basically means it's the kind of album you're going to want to pick up, you're going to want to add to your playlist, you're going to want to put it on heavy rotation. It's a badass bomb album. If the album happens to get 1 toe tag from me or maybe 1 toe tag from him, then that means it's pretty much the kind of album that you might like if you like a specific genre or specific style, or if you're in a specific mood, but it might not be one of those ones that you just have to get. Now, if it's rated anything less than an 8, like a 7 or below, we're simply just going to give you a number. 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10, and so forth. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Apex from Unleash the Archers. So, I want to talk about the meaning of this album, the story behind this album, because it's a concept album, right? So, basically, this album's about a character called the Immortal, and he sleeps in this mountain. He's sleeping in there for like thousands and thousands of years. But this guy was cursed when he was a baby or when he was a young kid. And the curse means that anybody that summons him gets to control him, and he has to do their bidding, no matter how evil or how crazy it might be. So he gets summoned by the matriarch, who's this evil queen that runs the land. And she's getting old, okay? She's like getting close to her life's end. And what she wants to do is perform these sacrificial rituals to extend her life. And in order to do that, she needs to kill her sons. She got 4 sons. There's songs 4 through 8, I believe, are all about the individual sons. And this album is basically about the adventures of the Immortal, going from son to son, basically capturing them, bringing them back to the queen so the queen can perform these sacrifices to extend her life. That's basically the story. I think it's pretty cool. So anyways, I'm going to pass it off on to you, Fish. What did you think of the album, man?
You know, as someone who never really listened to this band before, like I was never too huge on Unleash the Archers. I heard like a song or two that he showed me. You know, I thought it was cool, but I never really looked really deep into it. But, so this was a big, like, first impression of the band for me.
Yep.
And I did hear a track or two after I listened to the album, and it sounded like a completely different band. It's just a lot more raw from the other songs on the other albums than this one. So it was a really interesting walk into the atmosphere of this band. And, you know, from listening to it for a week, it kind of, you know, from the first impression, leveled out.
Yeah.
And, you know, some songs I liked more than I did before. Some songs I liked less. Like a song like Awakening, that's a great song.
Yep.
It just didn't hit as hard on me as it did in the first time.
Listen.
Yeah.
But maybe you got kind of used to it, or maybe you overplayed it. Do you think anything like that might have been a factor?
Perhaps I might have overplayed it because it's the first track, right?
Yeah.
So it's the first thing you'll hear. So every time you listen to the album, that's the first thing that's going to walk right into you.
It's very true, yeah.
But Shadow Guide grew a lot on me.
Yep.
That's just like, wow, this is actually solid. I still love the Matriarch. That song's amazing.
Very good song.
False Walls, as a song, it's great. Like, I really like it. It's just still a tiny bit too long for me. Just a bit. That doesn't mean it's a bad song. It's great. I like it.
There are some people leaving comments on the last video about how False Walls was their favorite song. And I'm not knocking that. That's fine. But you might get some hate on this video because I didn't have very much of a change of heart regarding that song personally.
Earth and Ashes was also really good sounding, I found.
Yep.
And it made sense now with the male vocal that we were so confused about previously because we didn't know the story.
Yep.
That voice is one of the sons, who's the only one out of the 4 sons who's actually good because the rest of them are evil.
Yep.
So that was, thinking about that now, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
They gave a voice to the good son, the only good son in the story.
But it doesn't matter because Immortal's still got to just take
the Immortal's cursed, so no matter he didn't want to take the good son either, but he had to do it because he has this curse on him and he's compelled to obey the commands of the evil matriarch.
I thought Apex, like the title track, was fantastic.
It is. It is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It takes you out there.
Yeah.
Jeez. But overall, like I said, despite how some songs kind of flipped on what I like or maybe did not like, overall, it was still really fun to listen to.
And that's exactly why we do a first impressions, then we listen to it.
Exactly.
Soak it in, and then we get, do a final review. So basically, are you done first? Anything else you'd like to add to that?
No, I'd say, that's what I gotta say.
All right. So basically, I gotta say, I liked it definitely more after I listened to it several times than I did the first time. The first time I listened to it, my feelings were a little lower than I was hoping. I listened to this album a lot, okay? Listened to it on my way to work, at work, after work, while I was drawing, hanging out, gaming. Just listened to this album a lot, okay? Really, really soaked it in. Now before, like you, Awakening was the top track. That no longer is the case. Awakening, still a great track, okay? I take nothing away from it. But there's 3 tracks now that I like more than Awakening. Shadow Guide, 10,000 Against One, and my ultimate favorite track, Call Me Immortal. Wow. Holy crap. I could not get enough of this song. It's an amazing track. The riffs are amazing. The vocals are amazing. The lyrics are amazing. The drumming's amazing. The guitar solo is amazing. I love the guitar solo in this song. It's so good. And it's not good. Like, here's the thing with me and guitar solos. I got 2 different types of guitar solos that I like. I like super fast, shredding, technical ones that are just insanely skillful. But I also like ones that are just stylistically good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
they complement the music.
They complement the music. And this is one of those ones that's stylistically good. It just really resonated with me. I loved it. And Call Me Immortal, it's the second last song on the album. I think it could have been the last song. Apex is definitely a nice bookend to the album. But Call Me Immortal is one of those ones that, I don't know, man. Like, after listening to the first 8 songs, then Call Me Immortal comes on, and it ties everything together. It's like, wraps up like a nice little package, and then Apex is like a bonus on top of that.
Yeah, thinking about the song, it actually, could work as a final song when I listen to it. I'm like, the album could end right here, but then Apex comes on, it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention, though, 10,000 Against One. At first, I thought it was okay, but then the more I listen to it, I'm like, holy shit.
That's a great song.
Really, really good.
So that
really
song,
powerful.
That song's about one of the sons, obviously, and that son is the leader of the Dark Army, pretty much. So basically what he does is he puts his whole army in front of him, and he stands at the back, and the Immortal has to go through 10,000 soldiers just to get to the sun. And of course, since he's immortal, he does it. He slays them all. So just thinking about that, like a battle scene like that in my head,
jeez,
that's epic.
The music is perfect for that.
That's crazy.
Too. Like you think of it, and it's like, that's what's going down.
Yeah, that's insane. So, anyways, what it all comes down to now is, what do we rate it? What do we rate Apex from Unleash the Archers? And I'll hand this over to you. What did you rate it?
So, like, I kind of gave it a mental rating on my first impression, but for my final rating, this is a solid album. But I don't think it's up there to get my toe tag, so I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. Because like I said, it's solid. It's got some amazing stuff, but I don't think it really hits the, oh my god, this is kind of like almost perfect kind of album. So I give it a solid 7. Solid album.
Solid 7 out of 10. All right, well, I was a little conflicted when it came to rating this because since I am already a fan of Unleash the Archers, I was having a hard time with judging it because if I judge it as a standalone album by itself, I have a different opinion as opposed to if I judge it compared to previous Unleash the Archers albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought it would be the fairest if I judged it on its own. Don't compare it to previous albums. Judge it on its own. Different. It's a different album. They tried something new. They're experimenting with the concept theme and all that stuff. So I decided, judge it on its own. With that said, I feel basically the same as you do. I don't think it's worth my toe tag, basically because it just didn't hit that. I don't know.
It's hard to explain.
The first impression really goes a long way. And my first impression, as you know, if you watch the first impressions video, wasn't that great. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like drooling over it. So with that said, I as well give it a solid 7 out of 10. Doesn't deserve the toe tag, but it was literally like
It was
a fingernail.
it was close.
And I mean like a clipping, not the whole fingernail. Just the
Yeah.
tiniest sliver away from getting that 8, getting that toe tag. But anyways, 2 7s out of 10. This is definitely still an album you guys should check out. Maybe you won't want to pick it up. Maybe you won't want to put it in your heavy rotation. But you got to listen to the album. Give it
Yeah.
a chance.
Check it
And
out.
hey, what'll hurt? Listen to some old Unleash the Archers too. I'm more of a fan of Time Stands Still and Demons of the Astral Waste. I saw some people commenting on the other video that they like those older albums as well. He hasn't even listened to them in their entirety.
Not much, really.
But I'm betting he will go back to them at some
I got
point.
some stuff to do.
So that's pretty much it for this video. 2 7s out of 10 for Unleash the Archers Apex. So this is the first of many metal album reviews that are coming on this channel. As you guys saw, we also put up a reaction video to the new Korn video. We're going to be doing more of those types of things. All sorts of stuff like this. So be sure to subscribe, like the video, leave comments below, tell us what you think. But that's it from us. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.
Later.